If you haven't used scaffolding before, I'm going to show you how I do this. First thing I do is I look at the terrain here, and I can see I got a slope this way, so that leg there is going to need to be shorter than this leg. So I try to, guesstimate how much difference there is and set these things up like that. This is what they look like. They slide in the ends of these right here. They fit in there, and you just adjust them by rotating this, and then the scaffold part just sets down right inside here, and then that acts as a base. If you're on ground that's not real stable, you can put a board. I've got some boards here. You can put a board underneath that to keep them from sinking in, but my ground's pretty hard and dry at the moment, so I'm not putting boards under them. So what I'm going to need to do, since I'm doing this by myself, is take one of these braces and put them on here. I'll show you how that works. And there, and then that will help hold this one up, and I can kind of position it where I need to position it. And then I can move the other one in and then hook it up and then fine tune it if I need to. Alright, so this peg here has a rivet through it and a little piece of metal. One side is slanted, and that slanted side, you lift it up and lift it down, and it is straight, so that you can then put your cross brace hole over it, and then once that's over, you pop this back up, it falls down, and keeps that from coming back out. Alright, so once I've got my cross braces on, I know I'm parallel, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm straight. So I'll straighten these up as best I can. I'm perpendicular to the wall. You can see this pole here is out a little bit, so I'll kick that this way a little bit. And I've got a level, and I'm going to level both of these on this bar here first. And same thing over there. Now, if you're paying attention, or you're a good guesser, you'll notice that I've also got slope this way. So this end is going to have to come up to be level across from this way. And what I'll do is I'll take one of my planks, put it on, and then put the level on that, and then I'll be able to level this end. And the easiest way I found to do that is just lift it up by hand and twirl these little things to where I get the height right. Alright, so put a plank on here, and one thing you want to make sure of, it's got this little piece here that slides, just flops back and forth, and these are pretty much held on just by gravity. Holds it down on here, and this keeps it, I guess, if there's any real strong updraft, if you're on a tall building or something, keeps them from lifting off. But they can also, since they just flop around, they can also pop out and make it hard to get this on, because it won't go on if this is in the out position. So that's the problem I had down there, was that popped out and was keeping it from going on a little bit. So once I got that on there, you can see it's out away from this peg on this side, but it's on the peg down there, which indicates that my scaffolding here is cattywampus, because this only goes on here if it's perpendicular. The plank is perpendicular to this bar, and for this to go even, it would have to be at an angle. So I'm going to have to adjust one of these in and out to where this plank is sitting here and it's flush the same distance all the way across. Alright, so once that's square, that plank will slide all the way over easily, because these are perpendicular to the plank, and so I've got that slid all the way over there, so I know that I'm square this way. I'll put on 2 more planks. Okay, so I'm level all the way around, which means I'm ready to put on the second layer, the second deck. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these things here, I'm going to kind of hang them over the top of this, and then climb up there, lift them up, set them in place. Now while I'm here, I wanted to show you these things here have these little push button springy things, and you can push those in and take this thing out. So when you push those in and lift this up, this comes out, and you can see that this is just a spring mechanism here that holds these 2 things out, pushes these out. And you might ask yourself, why would you ever take these out? And when I had in my first set of scaffolding, I had a 6 foot, a 5 foot, and a 5 foot section, and the 5 foot section, the top one, I couldn't get it on because it was hitting the soffit. Well, I took these things out and it lowered it by 3 or 4 inches there, and then I was able to put the third level up. So you might end up in a situation where your top level is a little too tall and you need to take that out, or they get dirty and you want to clean them up or something. All right, so they got these little things called pigtails, I guess because they're kind of crooked, squirrely, curvy. At any rate, these fit through this hole, and then they flop down and lock in place. You notice this is backwards, it doesn't work. So you got to make sure you put it in this way to where then it goes down around the scaffolding and locks in place. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape and sand and caulk and paint this bottom section here without putting scaffolding or planks on above that, because otherwise it's just in my way. So once I get that done, I'll put on the third level. I'm going to go ahead and put on the third level of the third level of the actual scaffolding now. I just won't put any planks in place until I get ready to go up there. And I've got 3 planks on this level here. When I get ready to move up, I'll take one of those planks out because my ladder will set on 2 of those, and I can climb up, and then I'll put 2 planks on the top level up against the building, and so my ladder will stick out above that, in that empty space where the 3rd plank would be closest to us, so I can climb out and get in. I'll show you the way it was set up when I took the scaffolding down. Now, the other thing I'll mention is I've got 6-foot scaffolding. So this is my 6-foot scaffolding here, and you can see it's got a big archway that you can walk in and out, walk under. So I guess if you're doing construction next to a sidewalk, it makes nice on that. But it doesn't have big holes or anything to climb through, or bars to hang on to, so it's kind of a little too open for me to use for a 2nd or 3rd level. But if you need it, that's what the 6-foot scaffolding looks like. And then that's 5-foot scaffolding, and then I've got 4-foot scaffolding. And the reason I've got 4-foot scaffolding is because my incline here keeps going up, and so I keep getting closer and closer to the soffit. And so by the time I get down there, I'm going to need shorter scaffolding so that I don't hit the soffit. So we got the 4-foot scaffolding here. That's going to go on next, and that gets me high enough to be able to reach the eaves and soffits and stuff. Alright, now that I got this section here painted, I'm ready to put on my planks up here. Now you'll notice I've got 2 bars that go all the way across. So I can put those planks on either one based off, if I need an extra foot of height, I can put it on this top one. Otherwise I can put it on this one, and that's what I'm going to do for where I'm at now, because that's the right height for me to be able to reach my soffit and all the way to the top of the wall. Alright, so now that I got my planks there, I'm going to take my ladder, bring it up, set it up so that I can climb up to that 2nd set of planks right here, and then put my boards and stuff on to kind of give me some guardrails, and I'll be ready to paint this next section. Alright, so as you can see, I can lift this. 2 people can lift this even with 2 sets of scaffolding connected. Easily do it with 4 people, and you can move it. But if you'll notice, the leveling jacks just want to fall out the bottom. So here's what you need to do if you want to move this without having to tear it down every time and keep scooting it down, like going from here to here where I need to paint. So you just want to tie a rope around each one of the leveling jacks, attach it upwards, wrap it around one of the cross beams, and then back down to the other leveling jack. And that way when you lift it, the leveling jacks will come with it, and you can move it.